This workout is going to be chest and front and lateral delts. It's going to be day 2 of our 12-week program that we're currently finalizing. We're just in the backyard working out, doing our thing, because we want to test this program out and make sure it's good before we release it to all the other buff dudes and girls out there. But feel free to follow along with us as we try it out. We're having a lot of fun with it so far. We hope you do too. We're getting this workout going with some incline dumbbell press. It's gonna be 4 sets, and in the program, it's a pyramid. It's actually 12, 10, 8, 8. But unfortunately, we only have 50-pound dumbbells, and that's a little light for the buff dudes. But what you can do is, like we mentioned in other videos, is control the tempo. Nice and slow, take your time, and a lighter weight starts to become a little bit heavier. Do some pause reps, meaning as you bring it to the top position, pause, flex the muscle, and bring it down to the bottom position. Nice, controlled, slow manner. And the 50 pounds all of a sudden feels like 80 pounds. So we're gonna stick with the higher repetitions on these throughout the 4 sets. But if you have the heavier dumbbells, feel free to pyramid up in weight as you go down in repetitions. You have to let the weights flow through you. You have to become one with the weights. It binds us, it surrounds us, it penetrates us. And it sure as fuck isn't metachlorians, that's for goddamn sure.
The metachlorians is strong in this one.
Let's do this. Flat bench, 4 sets, 10, 8, 8, 6. This is day 2 of the 12-week plan. This is part of phase 1. It's gonna be the pairing phase. So chest and front and lateral delts, and yesterday we did back and rear delts.
So as Hudson was just saying, pairing the muscle groups. As you know, chest is the primary muscle group in any kind of pressing motion, and the anterior delts, along with the triceps, is a secondary muscle group. And you're thinking, well, if it's a pairing phase, why are you doing the lateral portion of the deltoid? And that's a good question. That is not necessarily a secondary muscle group, although it does help stabilize the muscle or the shoulder joint, I guess, as you can say, in some positions. But we're really trying to isolate that just to make sure it's not ignored, because in this phase in particular, it's never really isolated so much other than just throwing it in on the chest and anterior delt day. So we're just making sure it gets some attention. It's not getting priority at this point in the program or in the phase. It's just making sure that it's not ignored. And then later down the line, in the more intense phases, that's when you really see the attention to the lateral deltoids.
Kneeling landmine press, one of our favorite chest exercises, working the clavicular portion of the chest or upper chest. With this one, you're gonna wanna lean slightly forward and keep those elbows tight to the body. This one, seeing as we're doing a pairing phase with the anterior deltoids, your secondary muscle worked in this one is going to be your anterior deltoids, which you're really gonna feel. So if you're feeling it more than you should, lean forward a little bit and reduce the weight.
Yeah. You want to feel a little bit more squeeze in the chest. Make sure you're pushing those palms together. Don't let the elbows flare too much. Keep them back, but really press those palms together. You'll feel a lot of activation in that chest muscles as you're pressing the upward position. Buff dude tip.
Get that cleavage. Hell yeah.
The pec pop. Cleavage.
Like that? You like that?
Doing flat bench dumbbell flies, 3 sets, 15 reps. Of course, this is going to be isolation, meaning that one joint, the shoulder joint, is going to be involved in this exercise instead of like a compound, which is, of course, 2 joints, which is normally on a pressing exercise going to be the shoulder and the elbow coinciding, doing the motion. So we're hitting those isolations now that we got all the compounds done, and it's going to be 3 sets of 15 reps.
I've gotten a few questions now that we've been working out more and more in our backyard, in our gym. In our home gym, I guess I should say, in our garage. Where'd we get the weights from? Well, a big portion of the weights we got, including the dumbbells, actually got from a school. They were upgrading their equipment, so they wanted to know if we were interested in purchasing it, and yeah, we did. We got it for a pretty good deal, actually. For those of you who live in the United States, Craigslist is always a great option. You can find some really good deals. Thing is with weights is they're so heavy that, you know, a lot of people that are moving, they don't really feel like going through the hassle of moving that with them, so you can pick them up there. We got some of our stuff on Amazon, some of our newer stuff. Get like a dip bar, a few of the other things, and then where'd we get the rest? And then we got some, it's just like, you know, the Sports Chalet, Sports Authority, they have a lot of great deals, 20% off. You can get some, you know, awesome equipment that way. So you just kind of got to be on the lookout for it. The great thing with buying your own weights is they're really not going to go anywhere, you know? I mean, you're going to have them most likely for the rest of your life, and they have an excellent resale value. So if you ever do need to get rid of them, you're most likely going to get your money back. So it's a great investment. We highly recommend it.
Oh, the old controversial upright rows. If you have problems with these, stay away from them. If they feel good to you, well then do them. They feel good to us, so we include them in the program. You can always alternate or do an alternation of them, just as far as maybe switch them out with dumbbells, or even just change the range of motion of the upright rows. And hey, if you have any kind of shoulder impingements, just cut them out altogether and concentrate on other movements. A good alternative is lateral raises. Of course, that's an isolation. This is going to be a compound, but it is hitting that deltoid, and if you go above the parallel, the traps are starting to get involved. Again, you can always switch it. Instead of a barbell, you can do dumbbells, because then you can really work on the form and which angles your elbows are at and which angles your shoulders are at. So if you have any impingements, like I said, probably a good one to stay away, especially if you really feel it on this one. If you feel any pain, hey, it's all, you know, programmable. It's all kind of customizable. That's the great thing about working out. You just find what works for you and stick with it.
You know, this was voted the YouTube commenters' most dangerous exercise of 2015, and I feel fine.
Hudson had an accident. He actually tried to perform the upright rows. Unfortunately, this is what happens. It killed him. Quick buff dude tip. When you're doing alternating front raise or even front raise of any kind, it's really isolating the front delts. But sometimes with the standard overhand grip, when you're bringing it up to the top position, you'll sometimes feel a little pain in the shoulder, especially if you have kind of any kind of impingements there. So a small adjustment is just to externally rotate to get a neutral position where your palms are facing more towards each other. And then that can a lot of times relieve some pain in the joint there, and you can still perform your front raises pain-free.
Lateral anterior front raises. 3 sets, 12 reps, 1 each side. 12 each side.
Alright dudes and girls, that finishes up day 2 of phase 1, chest, anterior deltoids, and lateral deltoids. Stay tuned for more workout videos. Hopefully you enjoy, and as always, from me and Hudson, let's put up the dumbbells. Here we go. From me and Hudson, stay buff, yeah.